Hey guys, I'm CLINTFLAIRWOOO, welcome back to another Division 2 build video, and today I'm bringing you my Pyromaniac build for PVE. This brings the burn big time due to the talent on your Police M4, which is crazy in PVE for incredible burn damage on this build. It is insane, and I'll demonstrate at the end of the video. But if you want to take a look at the gameplay, as you can see, it burns the shit out of them, and it is accompanied by the second skill, which is the Firefly, and it does a sound job in doing exactly what I need, that is blowing enemies up. And this build is courtesy of a good friend of mine, P. Diddy, fine upstanding gentleman who's also a clanmate, dropped this weapon for me because my RNG is a piece of shit, in all honesty. So getting this particular AR has just made my day. So I had to reciprocate and deliver a build video. And today, this is my fairly tanky, in all honesty. And it holds its own in PvE. PvP mind. Who knows? I mean, due to the sheer amount of hazard protection people do stock on there, it may not be that viable. But for PvE, and as you can see in the gameplay, it does more than hold its own. It absolutely rinses NPCs' health and armor like butter. And the turret, if you get it burning long enough, can be insane. Now, guys, let's take a look at the build. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Let's do this. Hey guys, yes, I'm CLINTFLAIRWOOO, welcome back, another Division 2 build, and yes, this is burn shit crazy. It is awesome, and it's got the weapon that I genuinely crave. So thank you P. Diddy for dropping this for me, you made my Christmas. Now, let's take a look at this build. Guys, I'm rolling with a Nerf gun specialization, and that gives me that 50% extra skill power, and also that 10% skill damage, which does come in an abundance of help. Now with this, I'm rolling with 2 offensive stats, 6 defensive, and 12 utility. And again, if you're going to mimic the build, you can kind of see, once I go through the build, why I've opted for certain talents and attributes. Now, I have 15.4k base damage on my primary weapon, 850 RPM. The armor is 235,002k, and 112.7k health. Well, that gives me that degree of survivability on this build, so you are not squishy. So you have, yeah, an okay range of armor for a skill build, but then you have a really good 112k of health. So that nice health pool, that will keep you alive longer and keep you in the fight longer. So it does work that you are, you do have that degree of survivability on this build. Not to mention how the talents work and how they interact means you have a bit more survivability than what you ordinarily think. Now, the mask. Let's go for the build. The mask is China Light Industries Corporation. That gives me 10% explosive damage as well as 12% skill haste, 40% damage to elites. Now, with this bloody damage to elites on the mask, now when I say bloody, it's because my RNG is horrendous. I have been searching for a mask that grants me more than 42%. And that's the max mask I have, 42%. Now, I have been unsuccessful in locating a mask which is better. And I have had a shitload of masks, nothing anywhere near as strong. So, highly frustrated. But guys, yes, this can be more powerful given your RNG is slightly better than mine, which in all fairness, it is going to be. so guys, make sure you are trying to farm for mask. I have been everywhere and anywhere looking for these pieces of shit. And guys, I'm annoyed. But anyway, get up to 55%. I don't have that. If you do, which you have, it'll be better than this. Now, the talent Creeping Death is a necessity on the mask, because it spreads your status effects to the nearest enemy within 25 meters, and this can happen once every 5 seconds. So you will have this in abundance, and you will spread this to several enemies. This is awesome. It really, really is. And you'll see this, and you've probably seen in the gameplay, that it does, again, spread to the nearest enemy. You've got a 25 meter range, which is crazy. So it will spread, and it is insane. So Creeping Death is something I recommend on this build if you're going to mimic or copy in any way. The chest piece is hardwired. I'm rolling out for the 20% skill power and just the 2-piece set bonus. Now, the attributes are skill power of 421, total armor 14%, health 44,752, nice chunk of health, and that gives me that survivability in PVE. Skill power 103, some bleed duration and burn damage of 3%, armor, total armor, explosive resistance, weapon damage, shotgun damage, and assault rifle damage. Now, in terms of the holster, again, it's hardwired. It's 719 skill power, 27,330 health, some burn damage and bleed damage and burn damage as the mods of preference. Now, the Kneepads, they are the Fenris Group AB Kneepads. This grants me 10% assault rifle damage, 13,547 health, 25% damage to elites, and patience. After being in cover for 5 seconds, armor repairs by 5% every second. So yeah, this is crazy. Just stay in cover, and again with this, as soon as you spam your turret, you're in cover. Using your primary weapon to take down NPCs, you're also regaining health, or armor should I say. So yeah, this is a really good talent to have on the build, given I'm rolling with 6 defensive stats, and that's why I've opted for 6. That gives me that extra survivability. So that's why I've opted for that particular talent on the build. The BTSU gloves, again, most of us have got these already. If you haven't, guys, I do apologise, but this is the go-to gloves in my opinion. There are some perfectly wicked gloves, but guess what? My RNG shit, I don't have any. I'm still farming. So, the BTSU gloves, elemental gadgetry, skills that apply status effects gain plus 50% status effect duration and 50% skill haste. Energy infusion. Whenever you apply a status effect, your gloves become infused with that effect for 60 seconds. While infused, you gain 10% skill damage, 10% skill healing and repair, 10% skill duration for each utility you have. As you see, I have 12 utility stats, so that is 120% of skill damage and skill duration that I will receive on the build. Nice. Applying the same status effect while infused does not refresh the infusion. So you have this for a minute. As soon as that minute is up, then just make sure you pop another status effect skill or an EMP grenade. That will ensure that you are getting that status effects. Charge proxies. Whenever you throw a skill, 1.25 seconds after landing, it creates an explosion, applying the infused status effect to all enemies within 6 meters. Enemies affected by the infused status effect take 50% more damage from your skills. Yes, it's nice. Skill power, burn damage, and some reload speed, and armor, some armor on kill, which is handy, and total armor. Now the backpack is, yes, it's an optional armor backpack with 20% skill haste, skill power, skill haste, and perfect tech support. That's what I want. Kills by active skills and explosives grant 30% skill damage for 10 seconds. Oh, that's tasty. Capacitive. 50% skill duration, and that works in tandem with my turret. It's nice having an extra 50%. That will increase it from 20 seconds to 30 seconds in terms of duration, which is cool. And that doesn't take into consideration the talent recharge, which we'll go through shortly. Skill power, burn damage, skill power, reload speed, and explosive damage. Now let's take a look at the weapons. The primary weapon, yes, is the Pyromaniac assault rifle, which is lovely. And it states, sometimes the world doesn't burn fast enough. And yes, put that on my gravestone. That's exactly what I want. So it's 15.4k base damage, 850 RPM, 40 in the mag. The talent perfectly ignited. Deal plus 40% weapon damage to burning enemies. After 2 kills, applies burning to the next enemy you hit. So that 40% also transfers to the turret. So guys, yeah, it's crazy. So rather than having that 30% from the ignited talent, you will get 40% damage to the turret and to your weapon. So yes, guys, if you're looking for a burn build, this is the creme de la creme of what you need on your build without fail. Talent stable, 15% stability. and stop, drop and roll. As you see, there is no hazard protection on the build, so this does come in handy. So the talent is well equipped. Rolling removes burning, bleed and poison status effects, can occur once every 60 seconds. PVE, you know, those pesky NPCs, they throw nades, those little remote control cars that blow shit up. This, again, if this does happen, it will take away a lot of armor, a lot of health. So what you need to do is roll out the way to make sure you're getting the benefit from this talent. So that's why I'm using this. I've not re-rolled it because there's no hazard protection on the build. Accuracy, rounds, reload speed, and damage to elites. Let's take a look at the secondary again. I'm only using this for the holster talent, which is recharged, well-equipped, skills deployed at full armor of 25% duration, and that's just for the turrets. The charge and ammo don't come into consideration, and that 25% duration is just an extra 5 seconds on the turret. Accuracy, rounds, critical hit chance, and damage to elites. My sidearm, which I use this pretty much all the time, perpetuation, accurate, and in rhythm. I'm only using this again for the holstered talent. Well equipped, enemy kills have a 5% chance to refresh active skill cooldowns, can occur once every 60 seconds, and optimal range and critical hit chance are the talents. Now the skills. The first skill, I'm using the Burst of Firefly, and that is just something new, something fresh. I mean, a lot of people would use Seeker Mines, a lot of people use the Hive. I have tried this, and it works a real good treat for me. The Burst of Firefly attaches explosive charges to targets that detonate if two are in close proximity. It's got a 12.3 second cooldown, 3 max targets, my health is 126k, speed of 1.15, and the damage is 249,631. And again, when we talk about damage to elites that's on the build, that's 5% from the weapon, that's 40% on the mask, and 25% on my Kneepads. So that's 70% damage to elites, and that will be catered into this as well as the explosive damage. So this will be a lot higher than that. Now, in terms of the mods, I don't have the best mods. As you can see from the mods I have available, speed, skill haste, and more skill haste. And they're around about 2.5k. There are much better mods, and I'm sure that you guys have them, so utilize them where you deem fit. But my primary skill is the incinerator turret. I'm using that because I want to get enemies on burn effect as often as possible. So this is the skill of choice. Now, it's got a 30.7 second cooldown. We know we dismantle it before it drops, then that's 15 seconds. You'll get it back in. Don't worry about the duration. That's just how long it is on for. Not active, just on the ground. 6938 damage, 15 meter range. Burn damage of 22,821. The burn duration is nearly 10 seconds. PvP, yeah, look at that. Just no. But anyway, burn strength 95.8%. Skill haste 94.3% and damage 144.6%. So really good mods on the turret. I mean, really good. Comes to the Firefly, they are decent at very, very best, and there's much better out there. Now we've seen the stats, we've seen the gear, the weapons. Let's take a look at the nitty gritty. And now again, we've seen what talents I have on the build. My weapon damage is 15.5. No crit hit chance on the build, a little bit of crit damage, headshot damage 55%, reload speed bonus of 18%. In terms of my assault rifle damage bonus is 27%. You see, it's not a great deal, but I'm getting that extra 40% from my Perfectly Ignited talent. 70% damage to elite, some health damage as well, and explosive damage. And if you can get destructive on the build, if you can shoehorn it in somewhere, maybe on your chest piece, we're hardwired, or maybe on your holster, it's even stronger a build due to the Firefly Burster skill. Now let's take a look at this in action. So let's just change this from easy to very hard. Let's just see some of the damage that this can achieve. So let's just throw the nade. And you see, rinses through NPCs, 125k I believe there. And there you go, guys. This is my flame build for PVE, 135. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Guys, If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like. If you want to see more Division 2 content, as well as burn, blind, bleed, you name it, it'll be in my videos, guys. Drop a sub to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.